What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video we're going to look at a new transient designer from JMG under the United Plugins umbrella called Nanopulse. So this is a transient designer that has a unique enhancer section that allows you to alter the pitch, tone, and resonance of the transient. It's also a multiband transient designer. You can see here we have low, mid, and high frequencies that we can alter the attack and sustain of. So I'm going to let's go over the controls, and then I'm gonna let you hear how this sounds. So we've got a real retro looking UI here, and this is the first plugin I've seen from JMG, so I'm not sure what their other plugins look like, but definitely have a like an 80s retro vibe that I'm getting from this. Let's go over these controls though. Enhanced transient, first knob you have here. This is of course going to increase or decrease the enhanced transients that you have from the enhancer section here. In the enhancer section, we can alter the pitch, we can alter the tone, and we can also alter the resonance. And inside of this, we have 64 different options here. And these are all impulse responses from different instruments, different percussives, things of that nature. And really, the way you use this is just flip through it and find one that may fit what you have here. On the other side here, we've got the original transient. You can think this is like a wet and dry here. Bottom left corner, we've got your input. Bottom right, you've got your output. And in the middle, you have your multiband section. You've got low, mid, high. We've got crossovers here that we can change for that multiband section, and the slope of the crossover here. At the bottom is the detector section. We've got 3 different modes: smart, spectral, and fast. And we can change the timing of the detector. Really cool feature here is this listen feature here. And you can listen to, and I'll go through this when we're showing it off, but you can listen to just the attack, sustain, or the low, mid, high. There's a lot of things you can listen to, and it'll just solo just that part, which is really nice. When you're using a transient designer, using that listen part, you can listen to just the attack or sustain of that transient, which is really helpful. All right, let's get into how this sounds. I've got this on a track. I got this on some drums on this track, and I'm just going to start out by playing it and moving some knobs and letting you hear what it can do. All right, let's go through some of these options we have here in the enhancer. And just to reiterate, these are not presets here. This is just for the enhancer section. The presets here are up in the left here. I also forgot to mention in this upper right, you've got a output limiter that you can turn on or off. But let's go through some of the enhancers here. I'm going to go ahead and solo the drums here. All right, as you can hear, these are adding like subtle enhancements here to these transients under all of these. One of the most interesting ones I've found, I didn't get to yet. Where is it? I think it's called Sour. It's called Sour something. And I don't see it here. I'm just going to, there it is, Sour Tang. Yeah, check this one out. So that one stood out to me as just an interesting sound for that there. Let's mess with now in the shaper section, just the multiband part, the low, mid, and high. Here, we'll change this. Let's go to Soda Pop. All right, now let's check out this listen section. So I'll just flip through these here. So really cool being able to listen to different parts of the transients there. All right, so final thoughts on Nanopulse. I don't think this will be replacing my go-to transient designer, but this is definitely something that I can reach for, or I see myself reaching for if my go-to transient designer isn't working for me, because this can add some nice different tone and coloration here to those transients. Things that I don't like about Nanopulse, I don't like that like most plugins, option and click to get things back to its default. You have to do like a double right click and then you get this menu and then click default. What is that? Default value to set it back. I also wish that I could, that there was a way that I can increase the low, mid, and high attack all at the same time. That would be really nice. Instead of having to individually change each band, I would like to just be able to boost the gain or cut for the attack and sustain across everything at once. Let's talk about intro price. Intro price for this is just $20. So while I don't, like I said, this wouldn't replace my main go-to transient designer, but for $20, this can be a really nice option if what you have doesn't work. I probably got maybe 3 or 4 transient designers, and probably 2 of them I'd say that I go to, that I reach for all the time. But this, I like that this is doing something different than everyone else. I'm getting tired of seeing the same old stuff from certain plugins, and this is doing something a little different here, so definitely appreciate that. But there's a look at Nanopulse from JMG. I've got a link in the description if you want to check it out, learn more about it, or pick it up. If you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up, and if you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. All right, any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. I invite you to check out my podcast, the Faders Up Podcast, a podcast about pro audio and beyond. Season 3 is now underway, and in this season, we'll be doing a lot of topics requested by listeners. So if you have a topic you want to hear discussed on the podcast, email us, DM us, or join us in our Facebook group, Faders Up Podcast, and let us know. And if you haven't checked out the podcast yet, I have a link in the description that'll take you to the page.